of farm on their DK, on their live stealer. You may have like armlets both on these guys. Even we find farm, and now you get an ancient apparition at the end.
So not a whole lot of. They have like the slaughter and everything for the lockdown and the DK. This is very good versus the Morphling, but the mid lane, Wisp Ursa running at a DK.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna struggle quite a bit.
He will definitely struggle. I also still feel that Virtus.pro has got a lineup that they're very comfortable with. If EG can beat this lineup, they are going to force Virtus.pro to play differently for the first time that they've ever been forced to do that in this major.
Man, oh man, this has been one of the most hotly anticipated games of the Boston Major so far. One of the teams between Virtus.pro and EG is going home. Our panel was a little split. Looks like they're expecting to see big things from VP. I don't know if that's changed from the draft.
Not for now. So
Not
far,
for
this
now.
is their
All
comfort zone.
Everyone's going to be nibbling their nails, and we're going to be jumping into our first game of our day here in the Wang Theatre. Let's get into it, though. It's EG, VP, and your casters on none other than Gods and OD.
Thank you very much, Alex. We're here in the theatre getting ready for the first series of the day. Evil Geniuses, Virtus.pro, in one of the most hotly contested matchups we're going to be expected to see here at the Boston Major. The game is beginning. We'll be able to hit ourselves into the map, but Gods, what's going on here? VP sneaking in this final counter pick of the Ancient Apparition. It's an absolute nightmare for some of EG's heroes. Is it going to be enough?
It's one of those crazy things where you think you've kind of seen most of what VP like to do, and then they bust out a different hero for solo in the 5 position. It's weird that the 5 position is the hero to talk about, but it's such a good hero to counter the healing of the Io, the Treant, the Morphling when he's trying to morph strength if he gets ganked. Very good pick, but EG have a good plan. They've got very defensive lanes. They've got an Ursa who can kind of control the game in Sumail. It's a very good matchup mid for him with the Ursa versus Dragon Knight. And Arteezy, despite the fact there's an AA in the game, this is a great Morphling game. There's so many good ways he can split push, kind of just farm up. He shouldn't really be contested too much in the lane. This was a great pick for Evil Geniuses, even with the AA there.
I mean, with these heroes, who's going to start to up the tempo first? If you're EG, you have to be very worried about this Slardar getting that Blink Dagger timing and starting to move Ramses around the map, jumping in on some of EG's cores, which potentially 15 minutes or so mark in, aren't going to be quite at the position they need to be in terms of being ready to fight back against VP's aggression.
Yeah, the first few moves could come from EG after the lane stage when they hit level 6 on Universe on the Clockwork with like a Face Boots Ursa and a Clockwork 6. They can get kind of aggressive, but around that, the real plays are going to come from the Slardar Blink. Slardar gets Blink, and that's where EG are going to be playing more on the defensive. They've got the heroes to do it with. They can IO tether save people. They've got the Treant armor. They've got the Overgrowth to control the Lifestealer. They're going to be the more reactionary team come mid-game time.
So as you mentioned, this mid lane matchup, Sumail certainly going to have the edge in terms of hero versus hero, and especially with the backup of Zai hanging around on the IO. How does no one deal with this? Is he kind of expected to hold his own, or are we going to see VP look to help him out in the early stages?
It's a tough hero to really help out. You want to give DK that solo XP as much as possible, so he'll probably just struggle a bit on CS, but he's gone for a Windlay Stout Shield, going very defensive with his items, getting the movement speed to be able to kind of get away from the Ursa when he needs to, but still a tough matchup. Even with the Windlays, he's still equal on movement speed with the Ursa, and that's before the tether. Once that tether comes in, Ursa can chase him down.
I can see the top lane Pasha. I was heading forward and trading blows with Crit and trying to force Artur back. CS-wise, Arteezy having a fine old time in the first minute. Easy 4 for 3 at the moment. Then back over on VP's side of the map on the safe lane for Ramses. 2-0 at the moment, so seems to have a little bit of a harder time, but he's got a good wave pushing in now. The Universe has just been trying his best to control the lane up, and he's already got that sentry down as well, and already moving across, seeing if he can find the supports, just keep eyes on them, and start to play around a little bit with VP.
Yeah, it's a nice little pull through from Lil, getting the creep wave away from Universe. He doesn't want to go too aggressive contesting it because it is a soon-to-be level 2 Weaver. Once he's got Swarm as well as Shikuchi, if you get in too close, they can easily chase you one down if you mess up with your cog.
Mid lane, I mean, he's got the Fairy Fire, but one more swipe will do it, but he's juked him out! He's only got to juke him out with the cell. It will be cancelled there, I believe, by the range creep or such, but no one able to keep his life intact. One touch away from being brought down by the Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Yeah, nice little juke there from no one, but he's still in kind of tough times. He's only got 350 gold as a mid-Dragon Knight, sitting on low HP. And as it is, he's gone for a second point in Dragon Blood just to try and help salvage this lane a bit. Lil.
I mean, it's little support. I mean, you can't expect anything less from this man. Already coming in, sniping the courier 2.5 minutes or so in. Nothing on it.
That really saves the DK's early game. You don't have to worry about Ursa getting a bottle out early or a phase boot, and no one suddenly goes from having 360 gold to having almost enough money for a bottle. He's up to 600, so just 1 or 2 CS away from being able to pick up a bottle in that mid lane. That actually goes for the boots, but either way, it gives him that little bit of a gold boost that really salvages the fact he was getting beaten in this mid lane.
Top lane as well. Looking at Pasha's off-lane plays, he's getting the CS and he is getting the levels. It seems that because you have Zai kind of mainly looking towards the bottom lane, Pasha, he's able to find quite a bit from this off-lane.
Yeah, he's not really getting zoned out all too much. The Treant alone has very high right-click damage, but Pasha's able just to use his level 2 sprint to kind of cut around. They're getting a bit aggressive now, but realistically, they're just looking to zone Pasha, not actually go a kill.
Just trading blows at the moment. Back over to the safe lane. VP, Ramses, 21 for 4. At the start, we saw Universe trying his best to slow down the farm, but Universe, similar to kind of Pasha, isn't really slowing down the safe laners as much, but Universe is finding farm. He's 8 for 4, he's hitting level 4, so as well, this looks to be on par for a good timing for that level 6, which, as you mentioned, is going to be pretty crucial for EG to step up the play before Slardar hits that blink timing.
Yeah, they can make some moves, like the Dragon Knight at mid lane becomes in a very vulnerable position when Clockwork's level 6. We've seen a lot of these teams who will rotate their offlaner towards that mid lane. We saw Dragon Knight struggle a bit yesterday in some of the games. They can fall behind very quickly if they get ganked once or twice.
Oh, and there we have a bit of trouble around the bottom rune. Zai tried to nab it, he's not going to get it. It's going to be VP that turned that around into the face of Zai. Hit Lil that first blood, and if there's one thing we've come to learn from watching VP games, if Lil starts to get kills early on, we're going to see this quick medallion and such, and it's an absolute nightmare to deal with a support weaver if he gets this early farm.
That's such a good rotation from Dragon Knight. He doesn't have a bottle. I imagine Zai's not expecting to be there because he has no bottle. Why would he go for that move?
And mid lane Pasha, and it's coming for the early rotation. Zai is there, so it's going to make it pretty hard for VP to find anything out the back of this. In fact, Lil in trouble, points of verifier, it's not enough. Sumail and Zai outsmarting VP. We've seen them try for this time and time and again. VP, whenever they play the Slardar on the offlane, they always rotate Pasha in before he hits 6, try and catch the mid lane off guard, but it's so much harder to do with the ward down, with Zai in position. It's a tricky move and it gets punished.
Yeah, and EG have the defensive options. They have the IO who can get back. They were hoping that they could do that perhaps before the IO respawn, but he was ready to.
Pasha kind of baiting Arteezy here in, and he's going to be fine there.
Thanks.
A little bit of a bait and switch, but Arteezy will be A-okay.
The double Wraith Band doing so much damage from Weaver. Lil may force Arteezy back to Fountain here, or perhaps at least something like a Salve to be ferried out.
And lots of pressure being put up top, and at the moment Arteezy has been left on his own side. Eyes towards the bottom. Now Crit's going to return to lane, and Salve is there ready for Artur, getting him back into fighting position to continue this farm game. CS-wise, as we can see, still that mid lane. I mean, the CS difference is absolutely huge. Sumail, 41 for 17 against no one's 14 for 0. No one, again, constantly being threatened to Sumail, just dominating this mid lane.
Yeah, this is what EG like to do. Set Sumail up for success. He's going in aggressive for a kill here.
Lil is there to kind of offer a bit of backup. A quick turn towards Lil, punching him down. Zai, he's come across to back up Sumail. Lil's actually just going to focus down the IO, and Zai's in trouble. No one with the brief fire picks up the IO kill.
A lot of heroes converging in the mid lane for VP, so the IO kill's a bit rough. Zai obviously being the target of a lot of aggression first at the bottom rune, now there, but realistically it's Ursa's continuing to put DK under pressure. Ursa's kind of kept alive there, so it's not the end of the world, and Ursa with an invis rune could threaten no one's life here. No mana for a stun this time.
Yeah, Zai coming across as well for the extra chase potential. No one will be taken down. So as soon as they lose Zai, as soon as he's back, he's ready for vengeance. And they'll get that kill, bringing it to 2-2 on the board.
Yeah, things coming together really nicely for EG on their 2 corals, and these are 2 players that have to have a good game. You've drafted defensive supports in IO and Treant. You're running a kind of enabling offlaner.
Monster should be fine here with the waveform.
Yeah, their draft does not really make space for either Arteezy or Sumail to have a bad game. Both of these players need to do well. For VP, a Dragon Knight who's struggling in the mid game, they can work around that. They're still going to hit their timing, where Slardar has a blink. They've got a Lifestealer who can come out. Lil's getting decent farm on the support Weaver. They're not reliant on the DK having a good early game. So VP, they're still in a position to make their draft work, but similarly, EG have gotten what they needed out of the early game.
And with this lead that the Sumail has had on the Ursa, can we expect them to try for an early Roshan, trying to kind of sneak that past VP's eyes before the big ults come online in terms of solo getting the Ice Blast? Is that going to be possible for EG, or is it too risky?
Yeah, they'd love to. It may be going to be perhaps easier if they just get a kill rather than try and sneak it. Put yourself in a situation where VP cannot contest it.
He's got the hook shot here, has got the initial stun, and with the Patch Assault, Lil can't seemingly cast anything. And EG, with that rotation, as you mentioned, as soon as Uni hits 6, he's across the map looking for any sort of opening.
Yeah, he'll be hunting some of these easier kills, even getting kills onto the AA. You mentioned the Ice Blast, how big it can be as far as contesting a Roshan. Every single hook shot should be getting used at this point. Uni's not going to be looking to find a lane to sit and farm, and he wants to farm heroes with his team. And that's exactly what he's already done once, so good start for him with his first rotation, and EG still looking good. Mel's got, Mask of Madness, so Roche is very easy for him to take down now, and also just the aggressive potential of this hero. DK cannot go in this mid lane. He's actually vacated to go jungle as a Dragon Knight. This is really rough for no one. Kind of getting to that point where we talked about it doesn't matter too much if DK is a bad game, but this is turning into like a really bad game for DK.
You can see with the warning as well, VP at the moment do have this ops in the jungle and also by the Roche pit, so they've got pretty good intel if VG do start to make an attempt towards the Roche. Someone else come down into the nearby region or such with Zai as the backup. Maybe looking to build a bit of pressure on this bottom lane, push this out, get a bit more map control around this Roshan pit.
Yeah, and you push it out, you set the Treant up to heal up the tower. That's one of the beauties of this hero. Often VP's a team that wants to be able to take those early couple of towers to kind of get the ball rolling, that VP steamroll, but you get that tower down to half and then suddenly it's healed back up, it gets that much more difficult to actually break, and they're going to actually have to invest more heroes and more resources to take down towers. Bring in the DK with an ultimate, make sure the Lifestealer has an armlet and they're fully committed for the tower, with perhaps even Weaver with the Blightstone. They're going to have to just use more heroes to push towers that would normally fall without the DK rotation.
And ideally, of course, before the Roche, a kill would be nice. It looks like with the smoke, they're going to head straight in or try and find a pick up first. Samel checks the area out, and he's going to go for it. He's got the backup of Universe and Zai just outside the pit, hook to the ready.
Oh, he scouts the smoke, Lil.
Yeah, Lil will spot Zai in the neighborhood, not towards the side of Roshan, but now they'll know he's there now indeed, so Samel has to be a little careful about how he goes about this. He does still have the backup though, so feeling confident, he stands his ground.
Yeah, this is almost impossible to stop. They could try and snipe.
They don't have Ice Blast, so they're still sitting at level 5. No one's going to lead in with the Dragon Tail, but immediately Universe coming in with a hook shot onto Solo on the backlines. Ramsey's coming across as well, take down the cogs, looks towards Universe, but Universe is already TP'd out. And at the end of the day, it's EG getting the Roshan, getting the Aegis, and getting out of there, and it only cost them Crit's life.
Yeah. Perfectly acceptable there. I mean, the Treants, it's one of those games where playing a support this game is not going to be a lot of fun for the EG supports, but their job is to enable these cores. Sumail gets himself the Aegis with the help of the Io Tether. It does open up VP to take a tier 1, so I feel like VP, it's a Roshan they didn't need to contest, but this is a tower they need to take.
Yeah, EG want to fight this battle too as well. Sumail, he's looking about coming forward, dragging himself for no one, and now moving in. Pasha tries for the crush, isn't going to connect, so Sumail is not going to even lose his Aegis here on this play down bottom.
He's almost showing that he wants to go back in now that Enrage has come off cooldown, but VP have vacated this bottom lane. Gives some nice needed gold in the way of that Dragon, and it was Morphling though who gets a tower trade. That was Arteezy taking the mid-tier 1 tower, and not the safe lane tower I was expecting him to push. This is a much more important objective to take. A lot of access points on the map. Being able to go into that Radiant jungle now through the mid lane, and also just taking away a nice little TP location very central for the VP side makes that an important play for Arteezy to make.
I mean, for VP now, do you feel the priority is going to be just getting that Blink Dagger for Pasha done? They need to have some sort of jump to enable Ramses to start these fights. They do have level 6 now upon Solo. I mean, with that combo, they can blow up a fair few of EG's members.
It's whether or not they can wait that long, because Pasha's not all too close for it. They may feel they need to make like a infest play for then, using like an infest into the Weaver, or even like just getting Dragon Knight involved, go for a smoke play. There's a very deep dire ward that spotted numerous heroes TPing around the mid lane. It looks like VP are going to look to just kind of 5-man and brute force some of these towers. They've got the DK ultimate, there's a lot of armor on the Dragon Knight now with the Dragon Blood and the Helm of Iron Will. They feel confident that they can force EG to make a response, and Ursa's not a good hero to really defend towers with. Same thing for the Morphling, he doesn't have the items, he's going to be looking for the split push play.
Now, Arteezy just working down the tier 1 up top. Crit on mid at the moment with the living armor. Does have a Universe in the neighborhood as well. Hook shot at the ready, so if EG want to jump, they certainly can try for it. Easy yet to join. VP Looks like they're on the verge of finishing off this tier 1 at University, straight underneath this water. He's going to jump in and solo with the ice blast immediately onto Sumail. Sumail tried to chop down one, but Life's going to jump inside no one. Sumail just turns towards the DK, takes him down instead. They'll lose the Aegis and they will lose Zai, but they find the kill, not only just onto no one, but to Basher as well. And Sumail, he's not done yet. He's looking for Ramses. Ramses over the face, which seems to be a little too speedy, slows down Sumail with the upper wood, but Zai, he's come in, he's backing up Sumail, he's relocated across to enable Sumail to find the kill. And EG there, holding on to the mid-tier 1, taking 3 big kills, all 3 cores of VP being knocked to the ground.
They just waited and waited. Sumail farming an ancient camp just to finish that blink dagger so he could make sure he got a great jump off. Ramses made the perfect play. We'll see it again here. He instantly realizes he's in trouble, and then he gets the infest to get himself out of there. He gets into the Dragon Knight. That saves his life, but problem is Dragon Knight's going down as well. Sumail at this point is just too strong and able to take out too many heroes in these kind of fights.
And just the chase down, and of course that little sweet play from Zai, buying back, relocating in to just block Ramses. He did not expect up to the high ground. Zai's there with the buyback, relocate, and just that little bit of a slowdown, allowing Sumail, once his blink comes back off cooldown, to jump in and finish off that big old kill of the Ramses lifestealer.
That was a big sigh, almost of
very
concern.
big sigh from Sir.
He sounds almost a bit worried there. Has hit level 6, the Ice Blast coming online, throws the first one at Arteezy, who waveforms away from a Weaver to not get himself caught out there. We'll see Zai and what he's done. 100% kill participation so far in this game. He's been kind of the linchpin. He's pulled together this EG strategy. He's enabled the Ursa to do as well as he had in the mid lane. He's been the one who's helped chase down those kills, as we just saw with the buyback like that. So definitely don't look at the fact Zai is 100% of their deaths as well. It's been his involvement and what he's done elsewhere for this EG squad.
And we'll see if VP do try and attempt for that mid-tier 1 again anytime soon.
It's full HP. That was down to it was like 103 HP. Now it's full. This is the problem. If you don't get that tower, suddenly you've got to once again invest all 5 heroes for a fight that you just lost that 5v5 fight. So I don't think you'll be too inclined to go for it again. And next time you take that fight, Morphling, yeah, he's got a Lincoln Sphere. 14 minutes 50. Arteezy is good to go. Bit slower than you sometimes see, but that's because he's got all these other small items. He's got the treads, he's got his Blightstone, Quelling Blade, even the magic one. He's gone for all these items to make sure he has the best possible early game.
And the EG coming across here, 4 in towards the Radiant jungle. At the moment, Ramses is on his own behind that tier 1 down point, and Uni's found him. Ramses was trying to TP out, but Universe got the vision.
He can't TP now.
He's on his own. He needs members to come over and help him, and they will head over. But as we can see, oh my goodness, just Universe with the sense of mind to check that out, cancel the TP, and cause VP again to just have to play around DG.
He's found Pasha.
Pasha, he's very, very close to his Blink Dagger as well. That's a big kill, as we're talking about. VP need Pasha to hit that Blink Dagger timing, being knocked back about 300 gold there. And crit, eyes on Ramses. Does have backup in the neighborhood. Universe doesn't have a hook shot though. But they're bringing over Sumail and Zai. Ramses in a lot of trouble here. He's going to be jumped on immediately, trying to rage and run. The crits there with the ult, holding the lifestealer in place. And at 8-4, 16 minutes in, Sumail and Arteezy top of the net worth, but it's starting to look very, very grim for VP in this opening section of the game.
He may not be the elusive, annoying hero that the Bounty Hunter is, but Crit is reminding me a lot of what we saw yesterday from MNT on the Bounty Hunter, just constantly scouting through this Radiant jungle, finding the kills and getting the map information for his team. The dire vision right now is insane. A deep lane ward at top, at mid, in the Radiant jungle. EG see everything thanks to this Tree and Protector, giving them all the info. And then he calls his team in. He finds a lifesteal. He says, team, come and get him, force his rage. As soon as he rages, he pops the overgrowth. This Tree and Pick completely disabling Ramses in this game.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Pasha 100 away from that Blink Dagger, and yeah, no one actually going to let him have the creep there to make sure he does get his way towards that Blink, the ever crucial item that Virtus.pro have been waiting upon.
They have to do a lot with it.
They really do. I mean, Arteezy, he's had all the space in the world.
They are behind right now by a big margin. They can't take towers. Normally this is a VP team who, for the Treant, would have taken at least a couple towers and not care they're behind on kills, but they haven't had that gold injection because of it. And this Dream Protector is keeping the towers alive, is keeping the vision game up. He is doing absolutely everything to make sure that these EG carries can farm and just find the kills.
BP, and we'll find the space to find a tower. Just require the four of them to push out. Meanwhile, pressure's being put onto their tier 2 on the mid lane from Arteezy. They are ready to fight though, smoked up.
I think you should expect the Blink Dagger to be online at
Here's
this
the
time.
reveal. Pasha jumping in. Can they blow down Arteezy with the Ice Blast coming in as well? They should make a good job, but he gets the chance to replicate out. I think he's alright in the health department, that the Ice Blast is not going to bring him down. So Artur will walk that one off, and that's the Blink reveal done. And it didn't find that crucial kill. They're still trying to play around this universe. Holding on to the hook shot, comes across, disrupting the side of the fight here. Jamel trying to move it onto Ramses. Ramses raging, but Ramses, he has to run. Held in place by the root. Quick with the control of this team fight. Saw it now being focused by Jamel. Arthur comes across with the nuke to blow him down. Jamel finds the triple. They're taken down 4. Zai, he's chasing down Pasha. This IO with big old balls. 12-4 EG. I mean, it really feels like VP just haven't woken up this morning, because Evil Geniuses are just 2 steps ahead.
It almost felt like a VP team that looked almost broken by EG. The way they just chased after they used a lot to reveal the Blink and not kill Arteezy, and then they still chased up into the high ground. EG had the high ground advantage. They were ready for them. Arteezy wasn't that far off. He just had to walk his way back to the fight from bottom lane, and
the amount that they're grouped up. You know, Universe comes in, he does get Dragon Tail, but just with the cogs controlling Lil and no one, Crit with a huge overgrowth there,
He's
holding
just
him in place.
Yeah.
And they've actually just caught it! They've actually just caught it! Ramses is out! Oh, I can't believe it! If you told me Game 1 of today was going to end within 16 minutes, I would not have believed you. But Evil Geniuses was what I think was the quickest win we've seen on the main stage here so far.
speechless. This is the VP team that